host of this celebration provides a better way for mothers to link together through care sharing so that more mothers can find childcare that they need when they need it, and more mothers can have a way to earn flexible income, fulfill their personal and family goals. This Momni celebration isn't about which political party you prefer. Rather, today's speakers will address a wide variety of topics to invite women to find new and better ways to have meaning and purpose in their lives. The focus of my presentation is going to be how to inspire children to love learning. Well, parents are often surprised when they set out to teach their children something new, and children reject or resist their parents' instruction. This can be very distressing. So what are parents to do? They can invite, or coax, strongly suggest, or bribe, or beg, or threaten. Or they can just wait and hope their children decide to learn. Or they can think in a new way. They can inspire a desire in the hearts of their children to learn something new. So what is this mysterious art of inspiring? Well, I want to share with you 4 simple techniques that you can start doing today to help your children have a desire to learn. The first art I'd like to talk to you about is the art of offering a variety of choices. We'll just call it simply variety. And any mother who has successfully gotten clothing onto the body of a 2-year-old understands this art. It can go one of 2 ways. Option A, you pick out a pair of pants and a shirt and you begin to clothe the 2-year-old. Now, the chances of getting clothing on the 2-year-old's body and the 2-year-old remaining happy about it are there, but not as high as option B, which is to pick out 3 pairs of pants and 3 shirts and say to the 2-year-old, which pants would you like to wear today, honey? Which shirt would you like to wear? And then the chances of getting clothing on the 2-year-old or the 2-year-old being happy about it go up. It's no guarantee. But human nature tells us that people like to choose, even very small people. Now, it's very interesting to note that research in the area of business marketing can tell us a lot about what parents can do to influence children. Because aren't we all, as parents, marketers to our children? Malcolm Gladwell, the author of The Tipping Point, shared a story on a TED Talk about the famous marketer, Howard Moskowitz, who was hired by the Campbell Soup Company to help market the Prego spaghetti sauce. Now, at that time, they knew which spaghetti sauce was the most favored by thousands of individuals who had participated in marketing research, and they were producing the one spaghetti sauce that they knew everyone liked the best. Howard conducted an extensive amount of research on all the different types of spaghetti sauce that a person might potentially enjoy. And he brought back his recommendations that they should not settle on a spaghetti sauce, but spaghetti sauces. This, he said, would cause overall sales to go up. The Campbell Soup Company was initially resistant to this idea, but after much persuasion, Howard convinced them to do it. And so now we have meaty, we have zesty, we have chunky garden, we have garlic and herb, we have extra cheesy. And you can remember back when you were a child, the types and varieties of things you'd see at the grocery store compared to today, because this was revolutionary in the food marketing world. Imagine when you were a child going to the Campbell soup aisle with your mother. What types of soup did you see? Remember bean and bacon, chicken noodle, tomato, green mushroom, of course, alphabet soup. Those were the standards. But go in your mind's eye to the last time you were at the grocery store. Go to the Campbell Soup aisle and look at the array of choices that we have now. We have so many different new flavors. We have low sodium and low fat. We have Italian wedding, whatever that is. Why do they go to the bother of producing all these different choices for their customers? It's because the overall sales of soup and any other thing, from olive oil to crackers, goes up significantly. Well, we can use the same technique with our children. We can offer them a variety of choices and then invite them to pick one. Now, children often don't know what they want. It's because they don't know what the choices are. But there are many different types of choices for many different kinds of children. And it's wonderful to help children begin to have choice early on in their life. When they were children, my husband's brother, Jeff, preferred all kinds of sports. He was obsessed with sports. He was very good at it. But my husband didn't care for sports at all. He liked to draw and to read novels. He liked to compose music. He liked to take things apart and figure out how they work. Clearly, my husband was very superior to his brother. But if we allow our children to have a lot of choice and we choose options for them that are great options, that are things that we know that children in general probably like to have, then after we design the choices for them and offer them, we let our children pick and we celebrate their unique preferences. That's great. They'll become good decision makers. They will have joy in their learning. We can check out a lot of books from the library and invite them to pick a book as we lay them out. We can see the front covers of the books. We can allow them to pick the order of things that they do. Would you like to do your math homework first, or English, or your science homework? Which would you like to do first? We can invite them to pick the order of chores to do, or even which chores they would like to do. Honey, today would you like to fold the towels, or sweep the porch, or unload the dishwasher? You pick. We can invite them to choose the different kinds of projects to do. Honey, would you like to do crocheting, or paint a picture, or maybe write a story? Or maybe you could invent a new game. And we can invite them to pick places to go. Honey, this weekend, let's go out. Would you like to go to the zoo? Or maybe we could go swimming. Or we could take our bikes and go ride along the river. The point of offering a variety of choices is that children's likelihood of engaging in a wholesome learning environment goes up when they're presented with a variety of choices. All right, technique number 2, what I call exposure. Exposure simply means to help children to encounter environments where they are going to be able to see, hear, and observe things going on that you hope that they will want to engage in themselves, without directly saying to them, now would you like to do this, or we're going to do that. This is a great technique to use when you suspect that there might be some resistance or fear, hesitation, shyness to the activity you're like them to engage in. So I'll give you an example. I love to figure skate. I just find it the most beautiful feeling to have fluid movement, move to music, out on the ice. It's great exercise. But you know, when you first start ice skating, what happens? Well, it's freezing cold. The ice is hard as a rock. And you get on the ice for the first time, and you do this Bambi routine. And then you fall down, and you might hit yourself hard, and it hurts. And so then maybe you'll just give up and say, I'm not interested in ice skating. So what can be done about that? Well, if you were using the art of exposure, then you might do something like this, which is what I did with my children. Children, this morning we're going to go on a little field trip. We're going to go down to the ice rink and watch the figure skating club rehearse for their upcoming show. So then I packed a lot of yummy food, and off we went to the rink. We sat up in the bleachers, and we watched the ice skating club rehearse. They were amazing. They spun and jumped and twirled and skated so fast and beautifully around on the ice. And we ate our lunch. And then we went home. And I didn't say, and so we see, children, if you apply yourself as an ice skater, someday you may be able to skate like those people that you saw today. I just let the jury of their own minds consider what they had seen and feel whatever they were feeling. We did this several times, just enjoying it, and they loved it. It was so fascinating. I showed a lot of excitement and exuberance for what they did. And I told them about how much I loved ice skating. And then they said, Mom, we want to go ice skating too. Can we go? Absolutely. Now, I knew that the first time was likely going to be $3.50 per person for a 5-minute experience on the ice, after which they would quit. And that's exactly. But as they continued to be exposed to it over time, they eventually decided to take lessons in ice skating. And my 4 daughters all learned to ice skate. And we went many times as a family. It was a source of great joy to us. So it might take several exposures before they decide to engage. That's okay. You just be patient and watch and listen to their feelings and talk about it and let them engage on their own terms and in their own time. Now, of course, you don't do that for everything, but just in case that you discern or suspect resistant to something, you might consider, how can I expose them to this in a way that will inspire their interest? Give them an example in front of their eyes. Okay, go to number 3. It's what I call narratives. Narratives are a terrific way to tell a story or explain what something looks like or feels like that you hope your children will someday do. And just like in exposure, you want to be careful to not end your story or your narrative with, and so we see, children, if you would only, a little moral lesson there. Say that it's wrong to give moral lessons to correct them. But you'll see, as you practice telling them stories and little narratives of things you've observed, and just describing to them in a fashion, that the jury of their own minds will conclude to try that themselves. So I'll give you an example. My husband and I love playing musical instruments. He's a great drummer and a great keyboard player, and I like to play the guitar. I love to sing. And we thought when we got married and had children that we would like our children to enjoy music as well. But we wanted them to do it for joy and with their full hearts, and for it to be their own decision to do it. That was our personal preference. So we thought that if we did a lot of exposure and took them to lots of performances and to the music store, then perhaps they would feel inspired to love musical instruments. So one day, after doing many of these things, I was driving along in the car with my 5-year-old daughter, Leah, and I said to her, Leah, have you ever noticed how good of a violin player so-and-so is? Yeah. Do you know how she does that? No, I said. She takes violin lessons. You see, they go to someone's home who's a violin teacher, and they knock on the door, and that person opens the door and says, hello, come in. And she takes them into a room in her home, and then she takes out her violin, and our friend has her own violin. And then she shows her how to play it. And then she says, now practice these things, and come back next week, and I'll teach you some more things. And she had never heard of this concept before. And I said she just kept doing that over and over for many years. And that's how she was able to play the violin so well. Just let that idea sink in. And Leah turned to me after her face flushed with color. And she said, Mom, I want to do that. I want to have violin lessons and learn to play the violin and go to a violin teacher's house. And that's how her violin lessons began. She's 23 years old now. She's in the violin performance program in college, junior. That's how that started. Well, let me tell you the last idea, the last technique. Number 4 is to be inspired ourselves. When we ourselves are inspired about learning, then that translates to our children, but only if they can see that happening. And even better if we invite them along in our own interests. Let your children see the joy that you have in learning something new, and invite them to participate. Some years ago, I became very interested in spinning wool, and I visited places where I could learn that and met friends that could help teach me and checked out books from the library, and I showed them to my children. And then I invited my children to clean and card and spin the wool with me. And we had a great amount of fun doing that together as a family. But they got to see that mother can have a new interest, learn about it, and then engage in that new interest to create joy in her life. So those are the 4 techniques that I wanted to share with you today about inspiring children to love them. Thank you. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the day. We have 23 more speakers to talk to you today about a variety of topics. Have a great day.